everybody knew what a downwinder was. We were the anti-nuclear capital of the world. I was an autistic kid. My father was a drafted United States Marine, an incredible man. I come from an incredible family. My uncle stood on Omaha Beach on D-Day. I grew up on a huge ranch out by the lake. He was a beautiful, incredible person. He was at Pendleton, combat ready, and they were human guinea pig. They were marched into the trenches in Nevada. They're called atomic veterans. He nearly died at the blast. Between 1951 and 1968, we had 300 open-air tests. Well, as different scientists started to write about this, Wallace Stegner was at the University of Utah at the time. I got to know him. Edward Abbey was hanging around there. I got to know him. I got to know all these environmentalists, and I was an environmentalist, and it was a passionate, intense subject matter there.
All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck.
We will right there, but stay out of there. Let's go in the house. Yeah. A minute.
Twingate, 311, whatever you want to call it. I call it Pacific Genocide, whatever. It's fucking giant conspiratorial across all demographics. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck.
Yeah.
They'll be calling you a radical. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. Twingate, 311, whatever you want to call it. I call it Pacific Genocide, whatever. It's fucking giant conspiratorial across all demographics. They'll be calling you a radical. May God have mercy on all of your souls.
Nuclear power was evolving. We were promised, oh, this can't happen.
All we hear is Radio Goo Goo, Radio Gaga. Well, I'm back from Europe, back to the radio show, back to the United States of usury. The military-industrial complex gone amok, comrades. Welcome, comrades. Let's remember, a social fabric, a system, an economic thesis that bases all off fear, that bases all off nuclear bombs, that bases all off military, made-up fake enemies. Wasn't that experiment tried? And I love how they blamed it on Engel. Blame it on Engel. Blame it on Karl Marx. Blame it on Lenin. Blame it on Stalin. Well, maybe it was Lenin and Stalin. Definitely Stalin. Maybe the Royals. Remember we tried that system? As they termed it, communism? That wasn't communism. It's the same old neo-feudalism. I've got my grandson here with me today, back here. But, all right, let's fix this. So, wasn't that experiment tried from 1945 to the 1980s? There's nothing in there. They're no good. They're no good. They got warm. So come on, we'll get some at the store. So wasn't that experiment tried? Didn't we try that experiment? Well, they tried that experiment, but at the same time. Okay, we'll get you some. How well did that work out? How well did that work out? Let's gut the entire social fabric in the name of redistribution of wealth, in the name of it, throw it all 100 lock, stock, barrel to the military. They end up, they raised up. Do you went to the Soviet Union in the 70s, anybody that got in, the elites became generals, became military brass, as the oligarchs throw in defense contractors, building fake bombs, building plutonium, freaking annihilating the whole region in the name of fear. Oh, the Americans going to get you. Oh, here in the U.S., them Soviets going to get you. Cold War never stopped. That experiment was tried. How well did it work out? You know what kind of poverty goes across Russia? You know what they did to the Ukraine? I tried to get into Ukraine when I was there. So now we do it here in the U.S. So now we're doing the exact same thing. Is it capitalism? Hell no. This country's never been capitalism. Is it socialism? Oh, this country was socialist from 1945 1979. Strongest middle class in human history. Tax rate 91% on the 1%. If you drank the Kool-Aid, the dogma, whatever Fox News shoves down you people's throats, you freaking regurgitate. Whatever CNN shoves down here. Still waiting for CBS, NBC, ABC to give you confirmation that the Pacific Ocean is dying. And I can prove it. So I'm in Europe, comrades. I got chased out of the World Health Organization, Geneva. Geneva, they're evil, sick bastards there. Sickos. I can tell you that right now. You know, in Austria are the best activists in the world, bar none. And I'll tell you a few stories of what happened. It was a very intense, hardcore trip for me. But we will when I get done. So, very intense. My age, sleeping in hostels? Let's remember it's the time of year that all the American kids go to Europe. Try sleeping on houses with those maniacs. Is they're trying? Well, not trying. Europe's a cultural theme park. For real. By the way, Europe turned themselves into a cultural theme park post the war. After World War II, especially Italy. I was in Italy. Holy Moses. My cameras all broke down on me, stopped working, and everybody tells you that the Wi-Fi and internet access is better in freaking Europe is full of shit. Wi-Fi does not work in Europe. Wi-Fi is a disaster in Europe. And by the way, people don't care over there because people don't talk on the phones all day, every day. You rarely see a person on the phone. You know, it was amazing to me. Everybody still smokes. They roll their own. You see 9-month pregnant females freaking having a beer, smoking a cigarette all over. And they're not, I mean, you see the people over there, there are no fat people. I mean, how physical and beautiful the Europeans are, wow, is all I can say. Wow, 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 wow. And it's taboo to be obese over there. We're sitting in Austria, a group of us, after I've been protesting at the UN. We're sitting there. Here comes a girl walking by, and she's got these kind of shorts on, and she's not even really obese by American standards. But by their standards, she is. She's a little bit overweight. There's some women sitting there, older women. You should hear them all over. They're like, hey, girl. You know, and by the way, in Austria, you know, as German is their language, they speak English. They want to speak English. They'll tell you, no, I want to speak English. And so they're like, hey, girl, you need to go home and get some clothes on. Why are you so fat? And let's remember, they eat ice cream every day. Every day. It's their national food. They eat cheese every day. All over Europe, the dairy is their national foods. And they protect it like wolves. They drink beer every day. It's very common to see a 70-year-old sophisticated woman at 10 o'clock in the morning sitting having a beer. And when you order beer, you just say beer. In Austria, they're protectionists. Everything, for the most part, in Austria is made in Austria. It's like, I want to buy a souvenir. You know how it is with souvenir ships. And, you know, Denmark, made in Budapest. Freaking all over, made in Budapest, just like the slave complex. In Austria, I was like, well, I want to buy a shirt, you know, for my daughter. Oh, no. By law, it has to. Everything in the store is made in Austria. Not to mention, everything's organic. I bought a shirt, which was so cool that I was able to buy that shirt on the 200th anniversary of Waterloo, that the cotton is grown in Waterloo, Belgium. It's amazing to actually see construction workers, beautiful plasters. I talked to some plasters over there because I'm a plasterer, you know, it's been gutted here, that actually were highly respected like they were here. The street sweepers, yes, they clean the streets all over Europe. In Switzerland, they use heat and clean them. You can eat off the floor in the subways in Sweden. They actually protect their workers. They actually freaking still care about their workers. They actually still care about the middle class. You know, they don't let people pay cash and exploit. You start paying a person cash over there, see what happens to you. Kind of like here. It's not the exploited, it's the exploiters. The same people that bitch about the so-called illegals in this country are the same people paying them cash. So I protest at the UN. So I go over there, you know, and I think I'm being sneaky. Sandra comes from Holland. She's fabulous, by the way. What a brilliant female. Speaks 5 languages fluently. Genius. So we can't connect. So we're trying to figure out why, hey, I'm there, she's there, blah, blah, blah. Well, then we find out later. While I'm detained inside the UN by security, she's detained by Austrian police outside. So I go in, got my backpack. By law, anybody can take the public tour. So I talk to security. Yeah, I'm real quiet like. This is before I set up shop protesting. Just want to take a public tour. Okay. Go through security. Security is intense. There's only one way in and one way out there. Now, there's a secret passageway that these guys can drive in through the gas station and everything, but these guys all live in Vienna, so they just take the subway. They get off right there. I caught them way off guard, right in the faces of all of them. I mean, right in their faces of the UN rats. The IEA top UN rats right in their face. And people will say that's not effective activism and say, oh, holding their signs, get out there. They're fools. People that say that are fools sit behind their keyboard constantly because Austria proves it. The social fabric. I was at Frida Meisenblauer's house. I spent all morning with that incredible, sophisticated, amazing woman. 88 years old. The person who shut down nuclear 1 week before the reactor when it was ready to go online. I'll be back in Vienna soon. So she told me, Kevin, I'm going to nominate you for the Alternative Nobel Prize. She is intense. She's sophisticated. She's elegant. She's a street activist. Door to door, face to face, in the street. That's where we meet. And the social fabric in Austria was changed. It's older. To be an anti-nuclear activist, people loved you. People drove from all over the country to come meet me. Women coming up, kissing me, hugging me. Here, Kevin, a lawyer just shows up. Out of the blue. Kevin, I thought maybe you'd need some help. They're watching. They're paying attention. So I get there. So I go through the first layer of security. Through the second layer of security. Everything's cool. What are you doing? I'm just going on the tour. You know, there's a line. So I get through, and all of a sudden, they're like, no. Pulled me to the side. I'm like, well, wait a minute. What's in your bag? What do you mean, what's in my bag? Well, you got some signs. Yes, so? Well, you can't take them. Well, okay. You got a locker right here? Yeah, of course. I'll just put them over there. No biggie. You know, I'm just going through the public door. So I get all the way through the last layer, and then all of a sudden they stop me. People come out of these little holes in the wall. I couldn't believe it. Security, and they're like, come with me. I'm like, what? Come with me. They search me, strip search me all the way down. Take my freaking passport out of my bag. Tear my bag apart. Go through me. I'm like, what the hell? What are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? You're not going into the public. Why am I not going into the public tour? You're not going. I said, anybody can take the public tour. That's the UN chart. You're not. What? So then, all of a sudden, this white shirt, as we call him, comes down. Head of UN security. He shows up. Can I talk to you? Yeah, what the hell? I'm like, well, why are you guys abusing me like this? Well, Kevin, did they know who I am? Of course, biometrics, you know, they've got the freaking list. They know. So he's like, well, we're not going to let you in. What do you mean you're not going to let me in? Anybody, that's you in charge. Just want to take the tour. It's legal. Starts 12:45. I'm here early to get through security. No, you're not taking a tour. But I very much support what you do. I says, well, he says, you plan on protesting, I understand. I says, how do you know that? Well, they'd already detained Sandra outside by Austrian police. They had her. So he says, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. So they walk out. This attorney shows up out of the blue. So here's UN security, here's Austrian police, here's the attorney. They're all standing right there at the subway drop right at the front door, arguing on where international property, the UN's own city ends, and Austria property. You wouldn't believe this argument. And the attorney's like, no, here's the subway, edge of the subway. That's not, no, it's the other side. No. Finally, the head of UN security says, well, I'm going to settle this whole thing. He says, here's your spot, Kevin. He says, we don't get protesters here. People don't, I says, yeah, I can see why. He says, I'm going to map it out. They'll have to see you. They'll come up the subway. Everybody that comes in and out of here is going to have to come right by you. I support what you do. So he says, I'll let you. They gave me a little 10-foot box. You can stand right there with your sign. So then right before I get it out, you know, they're taking my sign. I was snapping pictures in there, by the way, and I put them online, snap pictures of why they're unrolling my sign, security, whatever. Then he's like, Kevin, can I take pictures with you? I'll show you to my wife. And he says, yeah. So they took pictures, you know, with me. And then so we set up. Finally, Austria police, Sandra got, you know, it straightened out with them. So she was there. So these rats would come out, you know, and we shot some YouTube videos, but, you know, it's two people, you know, and then some young people from Austria showed up, and plenty of people showed up over and over and over there and helped. It was a powerful protest. So here they come, and I says, I know who they are. I know who the IAE is by name and face. I post them online all the time. These people have names and faces. They're human beings. So they come out right there, Sandra. There they are. She get in their face. Oh, did she get in their face? You know, tell them, follow them, you know, and then they called security on and told, we were scaring them. I says, we're scaring them. You know, security comes out, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? We're scaring them. They're fucking the ones scaring us. They're the ones killing us. You know, so protested there all week as the spent fuel cycle was going on. The who's who rats were there. Now, by the way, here comes the CEO for Areva walking. Now, why would Areva be at the spent fuel cycle? I'll tell you why. Because Areva's going broke. That's the French-owned, the nuclear cartel, French-owned company. that builds nuclear is going bankrupt. So they're with hat in hand in the UN. Now, I learned a lot about the UN. At the UN, they have their own personal gas station. If you work for the UN, you pay no taxes. Zero. I mean, there's so many, and none of them do anything. I talked to an ex-employee of the UN. He says, Kevin, I work for the IAEA, and we're supposed to be doing all these studies, whatever. We just made numbers up. That's all they do. And by the way, I see these great big brown paper sacks everybody's coming out. So we're investigating, and Sandra was very good. Sandra was so good at investigating, and so we finally found out they have grocery stores in there. They have restaurants. They have everything you could ever buy, and it's almost free. So these employees are going in there and buying up. They're doing their grocery shopping. They're doing everything. They pay no taxes, whatever. By the way, as I said, Austria's food chain is incredible. They protect it like wolves. There's no GMOs. There's no corn syrup. There's no freak. They have big billboards and shirts over there have a steak shaped like America. It says, don't even try it. I mean, it's unbelievable. And then, so, spent all that time. It was intense. I had a documentary filmmaker that I stayed with, Nuclear Lies, who was great, and boy, did he know. He's the one that introduced me to, some of these incredible activists. Freedom Eisenblower, we got to go to her house. It was amazing. What an experience that was. What an experience that I'll never forget. Sitting with her for hours talking. It was amazing. It was amazing. Effective activism like her. The social fabric in Austria, every single person you talk to is anti-nuclear, big time. Educated, smart, they get it. They understand the social fabric. They really do. And so I met up with a young activist who has snuck into Fukushima several times, snuck into places in Chernobyl that they're not supposed to be many times, has videos, has photographs, sat with him all day, able to watch his videos, able to watch his... Now he says, I don't dare put them up. I want to put them up. I'm going to get him organized to put them up, but he has a job. He's scared he's going to get fired. But an Austrian, amazing young man, brilliant young man. So he showed me videos of the ghost train going back and forth to Fukushima in there. It goes 6 times a day or 8 times a day, 24 hours, and nobody's on it. It's the commuter, and they still do it. They go back and forth. Then he showed me this area right there. And so as they go back and forth, the train, they just like, They have a children's playground still outside there. Then he shot really amazing footage of the little camps they've thrown those people in, which, by the way, they're stacking up the nuclear waste. They're scraping off 2 or 3 inches of the waste. They're putting it in bags, and they have it stacked up right in front of those people where they live. Now, as I was there, the IAEA announced that they're cutting off payments to those people. They're going to allow them back in. The only reason they're saying they're allowed because they don't want back in. They're not going back in. They say that so they can quit making payments. Now, by the way, there's a breaking story this morning, a big breaking story, and we need to put our foot on these guys' throats and destroy them. Toshiba, who is Westinghouse. Toshiba bought Westinghouse. Toshiba is Westinghouse, which is, they own the nuclear reactors at Fukushima. They own all the nuclear reactors. It's breaking this morning. They've been falsifying their balance sheet by billions and billions of dollars, American billions, 1.2 billion American. So I got cut off. Sorry, I'm back. So anyway, an amazing dynamic there. So I'm in Budapest. We go out to Memorial Park, it's called. You have to take a bus ride out there. It's out in the middle of a Hungarian residential neighborhood, which it's spectacular and beautiful. The Hungarian countryside, all the homes in Czech, in Hungary and Austria, you should see their yards and their homes. They all grow vegetables. They all grow fruit. They're very conscious, beautiful. So we go out there. Now, before that, I'm at Freedom Square. The East versus West dynamic still goes there. So here's the obelisk to the Soviets right there. Right there was having the beer fest. There's the statue of Reagan, the false bravado. And I still believe Teller, the Hungarian, who ran the nuclear cartel from 1945 clear into the late 80s until he passed away. He was still running it when they're putting Star Wars tips on weapons. That evil, sick bastard that he was. At the end of his life, he says, I don't care how much I radiate, contaminate, killed, he killed my father, murdered him, but he killed a lot of you. He's the guy that kept me as long as we stopped those fucking Russians, he says. He hated the Russians that bad. He hated them with a passion. As that war's been going on forever. Still going on, by the way. It's in the Ukraine now. You should see the bootlegged videos I saw from inside the Ukraine. From inside... What? No. Come on. So, I'm in Budapest at Commeria Park. So then we go out. There's the statues of Lenin. A lot of them tore down. What an amazing place underneath those power lines. You should see that tripped out dude who runs it. It's so freaky out there. It's an amazing place. They play these old videos and these old movies in there. I bought some old postcards from the Soviet regime. I got a real original Soviet hat, and so I got that in Berlin, by the way. Amazing. Here goes my little grandson. Thinks he's in the car driving now. That's what he's up to. So, really incredible place. So I got to see that. Got some really great videos. Put them up. As then off to the Czech Republic. Now, don't call it Czechoslovakia. They'll fight you. Amazing place. Really an amazing place. So, I hooked up with some activists there. A lot of people don't know this that's going on in the Czech Republic. They have a disaster of their own going right now. A nuclear reactor that's had an accident several months ago. It got shut down. They say they had it fixed, and they were ready to put it back online, just like San Onofre. Exact same idea, same dynamic as San Onofre. But there is no media over there. That's the one thing that Austria does not have either. Their media is horrible over there. It's state-run. Well, it's not even state-run. I don't even know what kind of oligarchs run it, but it's disgusting. It's terrible. Same in Denmark. Same in Czech. So they had an access, so it was supposed to go back on, and then they announced why I was there. No, it's not going on. So we go out there. I'm like, I'm not getting off the train. No way. Not my condition. So I stay on the train. I got videos and photographs of it. And pretty amazing. What a place that is. Oh, my God. The Czech Republic. How beautiful across there. I was in Slovakia. Wow. That place is hardcore. I wanted to go to the Ukraine, but after, just too dangerous. It's too contaminated. The fire's going on. And then after talking to several activists that have been in there, wow. It's heartbreaking what's going on in Ukraine. Yeah, you should see these videos that I saw and these freak things. And now they're bootleg stuff. It's stuff that can't go on the Internet. There's no way. It's illegal. Now, some of this photo, he claims he's going to put a web page up and he's going to do it. Goes by Roadside Picnic, which, if you know about that book that was written in Russia, which talks about some aliens that came down and they just decided to make a picnic. It's a great book. This would be before Chernobyl. It's a great freaking book if you get a chance to read it. So I'm all over the dynamics, dealing with people, but Budapest is very poor. Still, it's an amazing place. The physicality of the humans that are there, you would not believe it. They are really into their bodies and physical and taboo. It's all over Europe that way. They're bike riders, especially, in Denmark, everybody rides their bike. You'll see the sophisticated, beautiful freak female dress headed to freaking some high-rise work, riding in her high heels, one hand on her old freaking bike, talking on the phone or on her phone, the other hand, swerving through tourism. It's amazing how they can ride bikes. It's incredible how they ride bikes. You know, and they stack them up, and they tip over. They don't care. You know, they're whatever, because it's utilitarian, the utilitarian artists that they are. These things are working in products. I mean, you wouldn't believe the metal, the baskets these things are made of. They're old, they're hardcore, and they are everywhere, and everybody rides their bikes. And, you know, everybody smokes all over Europe still. It's amazing. They roll around, and they eat ice cream every day. They eat cheese every day. They always eat, but there are no fat people. They're very active, amazingly active, amazingly beautiful, incredible. And it was amazing to me for the first time in my life as an anti-nuclear activist, I was actually in a place where people actually love me. People actually care about me. I was so embraced over there for the most part. It was amazing. People come up to me, young, old. Kevin, I love you. I mean, highly respected. You know, cancer, surviving, be able to do what you've done. You know, I was about to go on a clinic in Denmark. You know, it was a Dane doctor who saved my life. You know, I got to go into the thing. A nurse in Denmark is like a doctor. They have to do residency like a doctor. They have to go through the incredible dynamic. They're amazing. So I met this young nurse, and we got to go into the clinic, a leukemia unit. They asked me if I would come and talk to patients, whatever. Amazing. Really amazing how much they get it, how much they respected me. She's like, oh my God, you survived AML de Nouveau at your age. Nobody does that. I said, yeah, the Danish nurses and this Danish philosophy and it's a very different medical process, and I was lucky enough to get that system. It's done through love, and the nurses, like I said, because they spend all the time with you. Doctors see it for a few minutes, and here it's the nurses that know the patient. They sit with you, and so a nurse in Denmark is very similar to a doctor. They almost make the same amount of money. It's amazing. You know, they don't have a bunch of doctors over there that are all, you know, let's get my 15 houses, my 15 girlfriends, and the war profiteers like the California Medical Association, that this fucking dynamic that we've come to evolve in the United States, that whatever system it is, and it's sure not capitalism. It's a thievery system. It's more of a Soviet old system that we have. Redistribution of wealth. We redistribute more wealth than anybody on the face of the earth, which by definition would be socialism, right? Yeah, but we don't put it back to our people. Our redistribution of wealth goes to the military, all to the military. The military-industrialist complex, mission accomplished, 2000, the military coup of 2000. We have a hijacked political system. We have a hijacked Supreme Court. Two of those guys, George Bush didn't even win. It's a fucking well-documented fact he did not win. So two of the guys that are on the court are illegitimate. You know, Biden himself says it's an illegitimate Supreme Court. It's an illegitimate court, yet they'll put people in prison or whatever. Then you have Marie Antoinette, who's all in nuclear, who's covering up Fukushima. You have Hillary Westinghouse, and I cannot overstate this. I was at the place where Hillary made her statements, threatened the president of the Czech Republic, threatened him. She's the name Westinghouse over and over and over. Toshiba owns Westinghouse. Hello. They bought them. 3-year dynamic buying them. Toshiba is the nuclear complex in Japan. Toshiba is TEPCO, which is General Electric, they're the same cabal. So what's going on? All roads lead to Vienna, the UN. You should see where the UN's got their other headquarters. It's set up in the palace. Now think about that dynamic. In the palace, the old freaking royal palace, Marie Antoinette let them eat yellow cake. She was, you know, she was an Austrian girl. She was Austrian. You know, she didn't do anything. She got her head shut up. The old freaking Roman headquarters. Oh, yeah. The Roman Empire was all roads lead to Vienna. There's the UN. And, of course, Geneva, they're evil. When I was let's get to Geneva. I had to get to Geneva because I wanted to hook up with the, you know, the permanent protesters. So I get to Geneva. It's a long, beautiful, beautiful train ride across freaking Switzerland. You know, it's on the French border. So I get out there. I protest in front of the UN for a few hours. No problems there. Everything cool. You know, tourist trap. But then I go over to finally make my way up the hill to the hotel, and I want to protest right in the foyer. So I talk to security like I, you know, do. Oh, yeah, sit up. So I set up my sign. I'm not set up there for 2 minutes. These guys come out, and they ain't fucking around. What are you doing? Well, I told me I could set up my sign. I'm inside their lobby. I'm snapping off photographs, and I'm trying to get out. They're all over me, and they ain't nice. And they're French. The French nuclear cartel run freaking Geneva. They're evil. And they're fucking pricks. Nang, wee. Oh, I told those motherfuckers off like they never been. Fuck you. Don't talk to me like that, you fucker. I'm here trying to defend everybody who's been murdered by, and they have orange ribbon at the fucking entrance, those phony fucking rat murdering fuckers. So they chased me out, and I said, no, this is the public park. No, you can't go there. I mean, these guys are all over me. Then I go way down the corner. They come after me. Then I go down again. Then I find a hookup with the real, which they're there, speak French only, but I spent some time with them. In their permanent protest, they got them in this little fucked up little nook and corner that nobody can find them. They got them fucking, they're there every day, all day, protesting, but they got them stuck where nobody can find them. And so, it's sick. So then I get back in Geneva, and I got security comes up to me, tells me I got to leave Geneva. Why? Some French fucks, a group of them. They kicked me out of the fucking city. So they put me on a train. I get on a fucking train. They put me on the wrong train. So I get off halfway across. I talk to a guy on the train. He says, no, you need to get off and switch trains. They get you on the wrong fucking train. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I go down there, get to the international fucking booth, and she's like, they put you on the wrong train. There's no other trains out of here. I'm like, oh, no. She says, look, there's that exclusive train right out of that, whatever, the first class train. She says, they should have left 2 minutes ago. It's still at the gate. Run as fast as you can run. Just get on it. I give you permission. Run and just get on it. So I realized that right as the door was closing. Ding, ding, ding. It's just me and one Swiss female on the fucking train. I literally got out of Geneva on the last fucking train. And the fuck security was there. They weren't able to get fucking behind me because I moved that fast. Got on the train, was gone. Got the fuck out of there, and I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here. Give me the night train going anywhere. Anywhere. I don't give a fuck, whatever night train there is, and try waiting on them fucking night trains. You're able to sleep. You got sleeping cars, whatever, and they're expensive. But you always have some babbling buffoon on there who won't shut the fuck up. So you can't sleep on those. So I was all over. But they're evil. The World Health Organization is the most evil fucking... Geneva's fucking evil. They're sick. They're sick. There's Toshiba headquartered right there, protecting these fucking oligarchs. There's a reason they say they're neutral and the fucking money's all there and everything's filtered right there. Oh, they don't fuck around. And it's right on the French border, and there's some evil nuclear French fucks. Voulez-vous. I mean, wow. So, the fight was on in a dramatic way. I learned so much. Hungary, I says, I hope your reactors don't look like your buildings, because they're falling apart in Hungary. They do. They don't give a fuck. There's no media. No one gives a fuck. Because you can't protest there. Oh, no. It still has the Eastern fucking flair. They'll arrest you. Same in the Czech Republic. It's very dangerous to protest there. The Eastern element is very still much there. So, then I'm in Denmark. There's no activists in Denmark. Same thing. But they're logical people, very logical. I got to hook up with, I found my family, my bloodlines, and my relatives. There's lots of them. It's amazing. Got to go to the castle in Helsinger. Oh, curse and spite that I was ever born to set this right. Because it's really true. I am living the country and western version of Hamlet on Balco. I really am, in a dramatic way. So, it was intense. Got to Italy. All my cameras broke down. I got a lot of video content. Was able not to communicate. My phone wouldn't work over there. That I had an Austrian phone. It would only hit and miss and work. It was very tiring. It was very hardcore. Now, I came home. I wanted to stay longer, but I ran out of money. I didn't have anywhere to stay. I stayed with a guy in Denmark out of the blue. I've been staying in the hostels over there, and the weather was so dramatic over there. Hamburg, when I was in Hamburg, Germany, set the all-time record high in the history of the city. A few days later, I'm in Denmark, you got coats on. I mean, you're wearing your shirts off, record heat to record cold within days. It was amazing, but, trying to sleep in the hostels, trying to stay here, there, everywhere. And, it was hard on me. I'm too old for that bullshit. And so, trying to sleep on the trains, it's expensive. So I'm bolting around, jumping around. But I learned a lot. I met a lot. Go checking on that truck, on the red car. See if it works on that red car. Oh, it didn't? All right, try it again. So, it was incredible. I learned a lot. And I learned, like I said, one place, Austria. It's amazing, that society there. It's incredible how logical and educated their populace is. And it rained after Chernobyl there. But they got them kicked out long before Chernobyl. And Freedom Eiserblau, who's a grassroots, in the street, anti-nuclear activist, just one woman. One woman. She would go door to door. She organized. They were in the street. They shut them down. But you got to remember, this was a time in 1978. In the United States, we were hardcore anti-nuclear too, but they were still able to build them, shove them down our throat. We were fighting Diablo Candy, yet nobody wanted it, yet they still built it. In Austria, they still fear their own people. Their own populace still have a fucking voice. And they're like, fuck you. It ain't happening. And this was 1 week before it was ready to go online, right as the fuel was getting ready to come in. So the reactor is an unfueled reactor. They have a bar in it. They shoot movies in it. They do all kinds of stuff in it. Every person you talk to, it's what we have to have here, what we were on our way to having in the early 80s when everybody was anti-nuclear here. And we were on our way to pivoting across this grotesque, sickening monster. They understand the spent fuel. They understand uranium. They understand the economics of it. They understand it's a disaster from A to Z. They understand it kills you. They understand it's the greatest rip-off, thievery, cash cow in human history. Price Anderson, they know about that in the United States, so we have to fund it. They know that the UN is corrupt, the IAEA. They know, which is based right there. I have videos I caught IAEA riots, and I'll put them up. In a coffee shop, typing up a Fukushima spent fuel freaking thing, and he doesn't even know I'm there. Like I said, I talk to many people that work out. They don't do anything. I talk to plenty of ex-people. They're nothing but fucking liars. They make numbers up. They're so fucking corrupt. But in Austria, the social fabric of the people are anti-nuclear. They want no part of it, and they understand of it, and they're vigilant about it. What? All right. Same with their food chain. Oh, they protect it. They guard it like a wolf. So it is the power of the people, which we don't have. If our populace in the United States would join together and get together, and we try, but we're too ignorant. We're overworked. And that's another thing they don't understand all over Europe. They have no clue about the thesis of how dangerous it is to be an activist here. They don't get that over there because they love activists and they respect activists and they're proud of activists and whatever. And so you talk to them how they don't understand that. So I got invited to a film opening in Bath, Austria. So I go. By the way, the guy shot video of it and he screwed up the camera. It didn't work, but I got photographs. So I go to it in this beautiful cinema, 100-year-old cinema. Just incredible, beautiful. You know, I'm sitting there. I don't know they're going to ask me. They come up and they're taking pictures with me, and they're like, on the stage, they're like, we have a, you know, and they're speaking in German and English. We have an American anti-nuclear fast. We have Kevin Blanch, a AML cancer survivor here. We would really love Kevin if he would come up and say a few words. So they invited me up on the stage, and I spoke. They gave me a standing ovation. When I got done, they gave me a gift basket, wine, cheese, all their stuff, big, beautiful thing. They hugged me, kissed me, take photographs with me. I'm like, that would never happen in the U.S. They spit on me. I walked the entire coast of California, people flipping me the bird, spitting at me. They hate anybody who stands for the reality. They hate anybody that defends. Like if you get cancer, and I can prove it, you get cancer, oh, we love you as long as you're suffering and you're fighting and you just shrivel up and don't fight back. Oh, God, it's so horrible, and they love you if you die. But if you fight back in a vigilant way and you survive here in the United States, they hate you. They truly hate you. I can prove it. I'm head of the support group there at LDS, and even the administrators hate me because our whole group, they loved everybody else. Everybody else was, oh, it's God, will take care of me, blah, 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 which they all died, by the way. They all died. I'm the only one left standing as a group. So as we fight on, and we go through the dynamic, hold on, I got to get back. Sorry about that. I mean, it's mind-boggling to me. Wow. But anyway, so I'm up there, and like I said, they've won the war in Austria, but they also understand that all over the borders, it doesn't really matter. Same in Germany. Germany's a maybe. You know, I talked to lots of great activists, and by the way, the activist community in Germany is so fractured and so whatever, no changes are permanent. They know that. They know that this is an industrialized nation. They know that they've pushed them out, but they're pushing back in. They know they haven't won the war, not even close. These reactors are still going on there. They're still there. They understand the uranium mines, but they know this war has not been won. They're supposedly, pivoting. They are pivoting, and they're shutting down. They've done incredible work in Germany, amazing work. But the war's not over, and they know that. They know it, and they know they have problems, and they know that these guys are fighting back through the UN, through the IAEA, through the American nuclear complex. They all know all the nuclear, like, you talk to any activist over there, they say, well, what are you talking about us? It's you Americans who run this whole show. You have 104 reactors. You guys are the ones that push this whole regime. And you're like, absolutely. So it goes over and over and over and over. They know it all. They know it's all run by the United States. Mary Antoinette, Hillary Westinghouse Clinton, the Bush crime family, both parties, lock, stock, barrel. It's the greatest cash cow in human history, is nuclear. They're trying to freaking send the nuclear waste here to Utah. I'm the only one. I met plenty of people from Utah. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty sad. I'm the only one that will defend. I'm the one trying to protect you morons here in Utah. We have a cancer epidemic here from hell, always have. They're in denial. They want to bring 700,000 tons of depleted uranium to the Utah Nevada test site. They don't care here. What? A bankrupt company, just like Toshiba's going to be a bankrupt company. Yet these are the people running the nuclear industry, looting. So you go back to San Diego, USS Reagan. Okay, she opens up the case against General Electric. That's a big deal. It's a big deal. So what is General Electric doing now? They know. I've talked to many of the attorneys. I'm involved with the attorneys. This is going to be bigger than the Philip Morris lawsuit by 10 times. GE knows it. GE's come right out and said, we're liquidating. They're selling off, busting up everything, and you're still holding that stock here. They're looting the company right now. Toshiba's doing the same thing. They know the writing on the wall. They know they're done. They know this is, Price Anderson protects them here, but not in Japan. They know that the truth ever comes out, and it's going to come out because you can only hire Fukushima for so long, which I've been saying since day one. They know they are destroyed economically, so they're looting the companies right now in front of the lawsuits, in front of the reality. These crooks, they'll take their money, and just like the Bhupal Anderson, who died in October, who was convicted in India, sent to jail, whatever, and so what do they hide? They come hide in Manhattan in New York City. So this is exactly what's going to happen. The General Electric executives, which are criminals, the Toshiba executives that are criminals, the TEPCO executives that are criminals, they have looted their country. They destroyed the freaking world, killed the Pacific Ocean. Everybody knows it. The litigation is going to fly against them because they've tried every dog and pony show in the world, these cheating rats. But they will be hid. They will be hid. And who will hide them? They will be hid in the United States, in New York City, just like they hid the Nazis in Michigan. I mean, it's amazing, this place that we live. It's so disgusting. My father died. My father was a Special Forces Marine. My father died. My uncle who raised me stood on Omaha Beach on D-Day. And he warned me about the French over there then. He warned me for my whole life. And boy, I'm telling you, get Geneva. The rest of Europe's not like that. The rest of Europe's they're wonderful people. Amazing people. They're beautiful, they're strong, they're intelligent, they're dynamic, and anybody who has a brain and has a mind, they love them. They respect intelligence. They respect activism. They respect, a person who has a conscience, have great deal of respect, especially if it's an American, because they know what's going on here. They know the dynamic better than we know it here. They view from afar, and they're like, what is the matter with you people? The military-industrialized complex gone mad, gone insane. It's all nuclear, nuclear, nuclear. What for profit? They're killing their own. These people are so sick. I said it. And I still stick to it. 311 is the line in the sand. Why? Because the oligarchs, this is the change of the world. Because now it's killing themselves. No one can hide from this. But they're so sick with their greed and their comfortable lifestyles and their rich, free money that they get from the nuclear industry. They travel on and do whatever. None of them work. Anybody who works in the nuclear industry, I meet them all the time. None of them do anything. They make gargantuous sums of money at Livermore, at Los Alamos. Anybody that works for one of these reactors, it's free money. It's secret. It's covered up. It's paid by the taxpayer of the United States. It's all done in the name of making nuclear bombs that we do not need. How many bombs you got to have to blow up the world? How many times over? Plutonium exchanges. Kazakhstan, where the Dune Antelope used to play. It's a mass murder dynamic, which is killing themselves, but they don't care. These people don't care because they're so sick with greed. I've met so many of these people. I met so many of these people out at the IAA that work for them. They don't see these zeros. They walk around like they're like the living dead. They're making so much money, and they have no connection with the earth, no connection with other human beings. They just think they can buy everything. They think they can buy relationships. They think they can buy friendship. They think they can buy anything. And that's why they have none. They have none. They think I'm in the #1 hospital in the freaking world for leukemia. They come in there, I watch. They think they can pay somebody to fight cancer for them. They die like that because that's who they are. That's all they've ever known, and they just stick to it. And the American populace freaking supports it. Why? Because of the economy of fear. The fear. 9/11. Oh yeah, they went crazy with this. So everybody, ISIS, they just make this stuff up and keep these American sheep in fear. Economically thesis. All right. So they've got everybody in fear. So they'll support it, and then they push it under the Unpatriot Act, which falls in. There's clauses that allow nuclear reactors because nuclear reactors, the fuel is used to make nuclear bombs. Now, the nuclear reactors, 104 of them here, have so much spent fuel on site that they don't even know where to put it. It's stored on site. It's over capacity from 91. They're ticking time bombs. But we just keep going because it's free money. And the lobbyists are all nuclear. They're all in nuclear. And they've got the political system hijacked through the Supreme Court, through the political apparatus. They've got it lock, stock, barrel. We got no shot. I tried to explain to people how corrupt the political process is. The DNC is corrupt. The RNC is corrupt. We have no voice. They pick these candidates. It's going to be a Bush versus a Clinton again. Both pro-nuclear, by the way. Both pro-anything rape the earth. Both pro-anything freaking extort your own people for wealth. This economic thesis, it was always like that. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. From 1945 to 1979, the greatest socialized middle class in human history, we fought back, was the United States. The redistricted wealth wanted to its people. We had tariffs at the port, like Austria is now. Very similar to what Austria is now. It reminds me of the old U.S. What a wonderful place we got to grow up. How long are you guys going to go along with this fucking trickle-down economics, this Alan Greenspan fucking thesis that got hijacked? From 1980, fucking Reagan, the fucking Iran-Contra fucking rat that he is, they fucking, his hands on the Bible the second they fucking release the hostages, all staged. How long are you going to go along with this economic thesis? And the far right, the very poor support the very fucking richest. Oh, free market, you fucking protection. They're insane. The two experiments have gone completely amok in the United States. One, the nuclear Manhattan Project, it opened up and it never fucking shut off. Then the economic thesis is they switched. They went from demand fucking side to supply fucking side. They went from fucking usury to fucking usury on Balco. The tax rate was 91%, 400%. You drove all the GMs and fucking Fords for a reason because the others couldn't get in. It's the old fucking thesis in German. How come we couldn't sell any car? We turned ourselves into a luxury brand. Simply double the price. So we protected our middle class, but we don't protect our middle class. Here, let's go over there by the clothesline and playing up our paintings. Oh, okay, I'll fix it. Let's go fix our paintings. And so, how long are we going to go on? Till we're all dead? You know, I've given up in a lot of ways on the American populace. I fight for my children. I fight for my grandchildren because I got leukemia. My dad died of it. You know, I've watched so many of my friends go, you know, my loved ones go from this. You know, we had 350 open-air tests in Utah. I grew up knowing their score. I still know the score. Everybody else here just, they drank the Kool-Aid. They drank the dogma. They're willing to work longer and longer for less. They're willing in the name of fear, in the name of bombs, because they've lost their fucking minds. America has no conscience. They have no soul. They have no heart. They have no compassion. But they don't care. They're ignorant. They're drunk on ignorance, and they're proud of it. You know, you go to California, you watch the Pacific Ocean's dying right in front of everything. They're playing volleyball on the things. Yeah. Let's go have another beer. Big fat rednecks on a Harley. Think they're bikers. They ain't bikers. I remember the old bikers. The old bikers would knock their heads off. The real bikers, those ones in Texas, yeah, they're real. But It's amazing to me, especially me in Europe. There's no fat people over there. It's taboo. They actually have a conscious soul all over Europe, all over. They look at us like we're completely insane in the United States, which we are. We've lost our ever-loving minds. We have lost our minds in this country through fear. We have nothing but fear. My MBA program, by the way, I was at the University of Vienna. I was in there, talked to some people over there. I was involved with some professors in Vienna there. I've been blackballed from the academia community. I've been blackballed I've been told right to my face in the state of Utah. The Masonics here, which were the old Masonics, I restored the 1900 Masonics, have me literally blackballed. The court systems have me blackballed. The media has me. I've been told to my face by my own attorney, Kevin. I says, really? They have a list here? What are you talking about? Oh, yeah. All these people I am blackballed. Academia blackballed me from the University of Utah, from Weber State, blackballed me. The media has blackballed me. They've done it all over the United States, literally, because I stand up. I understand the score. These universities are nothing more than freaking kill factories now. That's all they are. They're completely corporatized. They're freaking produce these fucking clone drones like Barry Antoinette. They find these freaking high IQ, abused children. They posture and groom them, and they freaking do their dirty work for them. Hillary, all of them. It's neo-feudalism. That's all it is. It's all royals. It's neo-feudalism, and it's been going on since the age of time. It's a quintessential battle between enlightenment and usury. It's really that fight. It's the same fight that Jesus fought. It's the same fight that Martin fought. It's the same fight that they all fought, that Gandhi fought. Every one of them fought. Everybody who's always fought. But we won in the United States from 1945 to 1980. Yeah, they slid in underneath. The Manhattan Project was still going. We didn't know. Oh, it's going to be a pellet. They knew then because I've seen the documents when they human lab ratted my father. I saw them. They knew they were going to kill him. They knew they were going to give their children. They don't care. Just like the USS Reagan, they send them. They knew. They human lab ratted them. These CEOs and these oligarchs, and we stand down. Our parents would not have stood down. They would not have put up with this. They would not have. They don't put up with in Austria. They run them out. The IAA's there. People are trying, but by the way, you think everybody over there is on the euro, and they think they're found to go. Oh, they're not. They hate the euro. Now, Austria's on the euro. Czech sure ain't. Hungary ain't. What? No, they're not good. We'll go get something to eat as soon as the grandpa gets done. What do you want to eat? Yeah, I got my little grandsons trained. They love fruit, don't you? And carrot juice, don't you? They tell their mamas, no, I'm like Grandpa. We like fruit and carrot juice, so I got them trained. And I worry about them, but they're strong. And, humans are amazing. I saw that in Austria. They're amazing. Beautiful, incredible. Wow. And it was so refreshing to have. I ran out of money. That's why I had to come home. It's expensive, those train rides, and I wanted to cover a lot of ground, and it was hard, and I did cover a lot of ground. I did a lot of things, and I accomplished a lot of things, and I learned so much. I can't believe how much I learned. I learned so much about the nuclear dynamic all over the world. Amazing journey I learned. So much I learned about people, about how we win this war. Look, I want people to very much understand. I've never been about hope. I've never been about fear. I'm about reality. I survived AML leukemia, de novo. Less than 1%. It hit me like a truck. Fukushima's going to give you leukemia. It's going to give you leukemia. You can look at every one of my early videos. Every day. It's going to give you leukemia. It's going to kill people all over. It's going to kill the Pacific Ocean. I started day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, every day. Relentlessly. I knew it was that important. Then I get leukemia. During the thing, you're able to watch my process. People coming at me, people rooting for me to die.
You have to know what persons are old, they die.
That's right. Yep, when they get old. So, you've been able to watch. Police in my sight 4 hours a day. People attacking me all day. Oh, you took chemo, blah, blah, Hail Mary. The type of leukemia nobody survives. It's unheard of. We know 2 people that have survived. 2 in the world. Now, there's a woman right now in Colorado that's going through the same dynamic. I just found out. Brian Morse called me, the other guy who survived. That beautiful, incredible soul he is. They sent him home to die, and he didn't die. And so they pat her name, that Danish doctors and nurses that saved my life. And they'll tell you straight up, Kevin survived because he was so vigilant, and he fought the people that gave him in an intense, articulate way. That's why I lived. I fought it out of my body through my YouTube site, through the community that supported me. And what a beautiful community I have out there. You know, and they're all over the world, by the way. All over. Dan in Denmark, right as I'm ready to leave, I was tired. I didn't have any place to stay, whatever. He just emails me on a comment on a video. I was just lucky enough to get a little Wi-Fi right there. Oh, I'm right by where you at. I popped into a Starbucks of all places because it's the only place I could find any Wi-Fi. And he's like, yeah, I'll ride my bike right up there. So I stayed with him. He was wonderful. He was great. Amazing guy. He says, oh, I watch all your videos. I love you. You know, Frack Bowden down over there. You know, she took me to dinner and they, you know, they're everywhere. In Czechoslovakia, people showed up. In Budapest, at Budapest of all people showed up. Every nook and cranny, they're out there. These amazing people that believe in me and believe in this post-ignorance fight. And it was, you know, it's a fight. Do not kid yourself. It's a war. You can go into all your dynamics you want and all your dogma and all your spin. The bottom line, you get cancer, trumps everything. Trumps everything. It takes all your money. That's another people in Europe, they don't get it here. You get sick and get cancer like I got, you're done. No insurance is going to pay for it because you have co-pays. You have a cap, and it financially destroys you. But I was able to freaking pull this off and have my bill pretty well all the way paid, you know, through my brain, through my knowledge, through my fight. And I've had people to support me and believe in me along the way. You know, in Europe, in the United States, we're not all drunken morons, and this is the line I'd say. We're not all dogma idiots in the United States, just most of us. There's a lot of beautiful souls here, but we're so few, and we fight, and we use social media, and we use YouTube, the incredible, powerful job. I'm an artist. I have been blackballed by the artist community like you wouldn't believe. I got an amazing story I'll talk about Thursday on the thing about the Mon Museum in Czech. They invite me, and then this girl, it was the weirdest thing ever, and then they all of a sudden just pull back. It's amazing, because they have a talk to you by somebody else. They're like, oh, no. They want me to do a show there. They invite me. So I go there on their invitation, and then this girl acts like I'm invited her, you know, and I'm like, well, what the hell? It's like 1 minute I love you, the next minute, you know, who are you? What are you doing? You invited me. I didn't just show up. You know, they bait, they pull every dirty trick in the freaking book, but I am relentless, and I have big shoulders, and I fear no evil. I never have. I fear no evil. I really fear no evil. So they come at me all they want. That's what I told those French fucks at the World Health. You do not scare me. You do not scare me. You know, I have logic on my side. I have economics on my side. I have rational reasoning on my side. I have the truth on my side. I have the angels on my side, for they watch out over me. I'm doing the good work. I'm fighting the good fight, and I'll continue to fight it relentlessly. It's that important. So we'll talk more about this on Thursday. Stay in tune. Stay in tune.
All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. Bloomgate 311.